So, have you ever looked at a really high-performing team and wondered, what's their secret? What really sets them apart? Well, it's not just about getting the right people on board. Today, we're going to break down something huge: how strong, really intentional leadership is the actual catalyst, the spark, for amazing team productivity. All right, let's get into it.
And this right here, this is the absolute core of what we're exploring. See, top-tier productivity, it's not an accident. It doesn't just pop up out of nowhere because people are working hard. Nope, it's carefully, deliberately grown. And the number one tool to make that happen? Well, it's you, the leader. Okay, so here's the game plan. First, we'll talk about what it even means to be a leadership catalyst. Then, we're gonna dive deep into 3 core actions: giving feedback, designing on-the-job growth, and the power of follow-through. And finally, we'll wrap it all up with how to test, refine, and repeat this whole process.
All right, first up, let's talk about a really crucial mindset shift. You see, good managers manage work, but great leaders, they're more like catalysts for performance. They don't just check boxes, they spark a reaction. And that means creating this continuous cycle, this loop of constant improvement that lifts up everyone on the team. And what's so cool about this is how these 3 things lock together. It's not just a list, it's a powerful, repeatable loop. Think about it. Step 1, you give some really constructive feedback. Step 2, you design a way for them to practice that skill right there on the job. And step 3, you follow through to make sure it actually sticks. When you get this loop down, you're not just a manager anymore. You're a people developer, doing it in real time.
So let's jump into that first core action, because this is where it all starts. Everything, and I mean everything, begins with feedback. Without it, your team is basically flying blind, right? They have no idea if they're on course, what to fix, or how their work is even being received. And this isn't about being critical, it's about giving them the gift of clarity, the one thing they absolutely need to grow.
And this slide really hits the nail on the head. Not all feedback is the same. It's like having a toolkit, and the key is knowing which tool to pull out for the job. You've got directive feedback. That's your wrench for a quick fix. Hey, next time, try it this way. It's fast and clear. But then, you've got supportive feedback, which is more like coaching. It builds confidence, it builds ownership for the long haul. A truly great leader, they know how to dance between these two, using the right one at the right time. Okay, so you've given the feedback. Now what? Honestly, this is the exact spot where so many managers just stop. But it's where great leaders really shine. You have to take that feedback and turn it into a real, tangible opportunity for them to grow. And the absolute best place to do that? Not in a classroom, but right there in the middle of their daily work. And here's the bottom line. This kind of development can't be some abstract thing like a training course scheduled for 3 months from now. It has to be concrete, it has to be practical, and it has to connect to what they're doing right now. So, let's say someone needs to get better at data analysis. Don't just send them a link to a video. No, find a small, low-risk piece of an upcoming report and say, hey, this part's yours. That's what we mean by active participation. The whole point is applying the skill, not just learning the theory. Or maybe they need to improve their presentation skills. Perfect. Have them lead the next 5-minute update at the team meeting. It's all about creating these little safe-to-fail sandboxes where they can immediately put your feedback into action. And now we come to the final and maybe the most critical piece of this whole puzzle. It's the glue that holds it all together: follow through. Seriously, you can have the most brilliant feedback and the most perfect development plan, but if you don't reinforce it, it's all for nothing. This is the step that closes the loop and guarantees that all that effort actually leads to real, lasting change. So let's be super clear about what follow-through actually means. It is not just a casual, hey, how'd that thing go a week later? It's a system. It's intentional. It means you're scheduling check-ins, you're creating dedicated time to talk about what's working and what's not. You're actively looking for moments to praise and reinforce the new skill when you see it, and yeah, you're measuring the impact. This is what transforms a simple conversation into a permanent shift in how someone works. Okay, so we've walked through the entire 3-step loop. But look, knowing the playbook is one thing. Running the plays is another. Just like any other skill, whether it's playing an instrument or a sport, leadership gets better with practice. You gotta get in the game, try these techniques out, see what lands, and tweak your approach as you go.
And I just love this idea. It really frames leadership as a kind of performance art. And how do you get better at performing? You rehearse. You can literally practice this stuff, maybe role-playing with a peer you trust. Walk through it. Okay, how would I actually word this difficult feedback? Or how could I design a quick on-the-job task for this specific skill? Practicing your approach in a safe space like that is hands down one of the fastest ways to level up.
So, let's bring this all home and make it real. This isn't just about interesting ideas, it's a call to action for you. Looking back at that whole Catalyst loop, feedback, development, and follow-through, what is just one small thing you can commit to testing this week? Maybe it's trying a different feedback style. Maybe it's designing one tiny on-the-job task. Whatever it is, pick one thing. Because that is where real growth for you and for your team actually begins.